Hello, everyone. I'll do that again. Oops. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Bite Podcast with Raven and Rhe.
I'm your host, Raven.
And I'm your host, Rhe. Welcome back to episode 27. And just want to tell you guys, we are officially a month away from Forever Twilight and Forks. Tomorrow will be 1 month till festival starts. But
Yeah.
it's 1 month from today. We're
Traveling.
all traveling. So 4 weeks and FTF is gonna finally be here. I cannot believe it's already been a year since we started planning this trip.
Yeah. Wow. It's really crazy because we were supposed to record tomorrow or yesterday, right? And then we didn't. And so we recorded today. And it's just like crazy that we recorded today instead of yesterday because today's like the Lionsgate portal. We have 1 month till FTF. So it's just like crazy.
Everything is aligning. I just bought my suitcase yesterday and I've already kind of got it a little. I don't know if you can see it. I already got
yeah.
there. It's
I'm just gonna go buy like a bag for like carry-on. So
yeah.
that's pretty much it. But it's all and then the month will go by quick, you know?
It really will, especially because it's our birthday month.
It is our birthday month. My birthday is August 20th. Yours is August 31st.
Yes.
So
we're currently in Leo season.
Yeah, but you're not a Leo, right? You're a Virgo.
I know. I'm a Virgo, but Leos and Virgos have a great friendship, great business partners. You're Leo, I'm a Virgo, and we're both August, Leo and Virgo. You know, not to toot our own horn, but you know, August is superior.
I like August Virgos.
I like August.
I know a September Virgo, and he's actually reminds me a lot of like a Leo. So it's really funny that there's that like dynamic.
No, same, because Mara is a September Virgo, but sometimes I forget that she reminds me of like a Leo or like I say Mara also gives me kind of like Cancer or Gemini, like because she's very glowing and she's very vibrant.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, so couple of updates in the Twilight world before we get to our topic, because I have a couple of things. So if you listen to our last podcast, which went up a little late, I think it was like a whole week late. Like it was pretty late. But to defend myself, I would edit it for like a second, because when I edit our videos, I usually just watch them, or sometimes it goes so well that like I don't really like have to watch them all the way. I just make like my little edits here and there. But this one I had to watch because there were some times where we said some pretty outlandish things that would get us in trouble. We name dropped. And it would get us in trouble if people had listened to it, and then maybe it wouldn't get us in trouble, but maybe it would just start more drama in the fandom, and we don't need that, a month before FTF, So I had to edit it really thoroughly, and every time I would watch it, I would just get so angry, and so it really took me a lot to edit. And then whenever I did finish editing it, I don't know why, it was just like I was just like putting it off. I was just like, you know what, like I'll post it tomorrow, and then I finally posted it. But if you're coming from that, because I noticed that we just got a couple of new followers on YouTube. So welcome. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're listening on Spotify, we love you so much. But if you have not listened to our last episode, please listen to it with an open heart. We were both very angry.
Open heart, open mind, understand that, everyone in the fandom has different opinions and we all react differently to things that are happening. And for us, we were just very I would say we were exhausted from what was happening and we just had to vent.
Yeah. And so a little update about TikTok, because TikTok was like a huge part of our rant on last episode. So TikTok,
Yeah,
I feel like has slowed down a little bit.
it has. I
I
think
haven't I haven't seen a lot of crazy people.
yeah, and I mean I've still seen like people, with the movies being on, people are talking about it, but it's not like I'm not getting any, I'm not getting any of those like comments anymore, and I'm not seeing a lot of very highly intense videos. Of course, you're still gonna find. I will say that I saw that V, aka Mary Alice Brandon. She had posted a video the other day, and it was all like, that audio where it's like, I was running through the six with my woes, and then it's all
Hmm.
like it's like I was running through, and then it's like more. She had made one dressed in her Alice attire, and it was talking about like when you realize that Jasper was a Confederate soldier. And I was reading the comments, and there were she was getting a little bit
Mm,
still people saying y'all just nitpick everything,
yeah.
and she defended herself as she should because she's a queen and spoke the truth. And so I mean it's calmed down definitely, but definitely I have seen still a little bit.
Yeah. Well, right after I think um it slowed down on my page a lot. And then I think that there was like a distraction from all of that stuff because this past week, we had lots of anniversaries in the fandom. We had the anniversary of Eclipse, we had the anniversary of Breaking Dawn, and the anniversary of New Moon, or no, Midnight Sun.
Midnight Sun,
And
yeah.
so there was all these anniversaries, and with all these, celebrations happening, Miss Stephanie Meyer decided to figure out how else she could profit off of us and take our money. Um, and I think, she's pretty successful at doing that, but I think this one might have missed the mark a little bit. But
This one, can I just say that this really confused me? I was like, this? What is this?
yeah, so basically this past week, Stephanie Meyer decided that in honor of the 1 year of Midnight Sun being released, she was going to re-release the books in a different book with different book covers. Um, and they're all pretty much like the same, but the ones that I am not mad at, Life and Death, New Moon, The Short Second Life of Brie Tanner, and big news in the fandom, the official illustrated guide is officially being reprinted, so it's easier to get your hands on that. So people won't be scamming people anymore and selling the book for
Yeah.
hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, that was. I can't believe people were selling it at that outrageous price.
So I think that that's one good thing she did is re-release that so that like people are
Yeah.
not getting scammed.
Yeah. I'm really hoping with Life and Death, it's coming out in hardcover. Well, no,
Mhm.
all paperbacks, aren't they? Dang it. Because
Are they?
yeah, I think she said that this was the new release for all of the paperbacks, so these are all going to be in paperback. But I was really hoping Life and Death would be in hardcover because my whole set is hardcover, and that's my only paperback besides
Yeah.
the collection. So
Well, I so with these new covers, guys, she
picture,
just it really is just like the same picture but bigger, and then like the same wording, right? The same font and everything,
yeah.
but just like times 150 like font size.
I was yeah, I saw them and I was like, damn, Stephanie, I know my eyesight is really poor, but you didn't have to call me out on that. Like, these titles are screaming in my face.
Yeah, I think they're I get the concept of it, but I
Yeah.
don't think the execution was like done really well. Um, so the way that the font is, it kind of breaks it up really weirdly. So it says like for Breaking Dawn, it's break at the top, ing dawn. And then like they're not even like in like line. Like it's just very
Yeah.
odd. Twilight is actually like twile, and then there's part of the eye is cut off. and then Ite is at the bottom.
Twilight.
And then Eclipse is Ecl with the I kind of cut off, and then Ips at the bottom. Life and Death, amazing. It's life, middle, and death, send like bottom. Perfect. Midnight Sun, it you know what throws me off the most about it is the is the
What?
is like how they're not in line with each other. They're not aligned. It's like mid is like over here on the right, night is over here on the left, and then sun is back on the right. Like
Yeah, I'm
they're
it
not
right now.
matching, you know? So that's throwing me off
I
about
just think
that.
it's funny. I think it's funny because, like, remember when Midnight Sun was released and everybody was all like, why is the pomegranate so big? And now we're all like, why is the writing so big?
Yeah, new moon, great. It's a flower in the back, new moon, right? And then the short second life of Rhe is perfect, and then the Twilight Saga official illustrated guide is perfect. So those are fine. But I know there's like a lot of talk about those. You know, it was kind of more, I don't think it was people like, yes, I'm so excited. It was more people like, why did you do that?
Yeah, I was just thinking because we already have the white collection of the books.
Which
So
are so pretty.
yeah, so I think it would have been maybe better if she had done Life and Death, the illustrated guide, and Midnight Sun in a white cover, or if she wanted to do
Mm,
the whole set, there were so many artists that she could have looked at on Instagram and collaborated with them. Well, I mean, like Molly, her artwork, beautiful. Like
yeah,
those are covers I would buy.
I think it was okay. So that got me thinking today, because today I was like in this really creative mood, probably because of Lionsgate portal, which I want to talk about too. Is so I just was feeling really, really creative, and I like went on Canva, and that's where I make all of our thumbnails on. Um, and I have the teacher version, and it's the premium for free, which is great. And
Ooh,
I made covers for all the books, and so I was like, okay, Bella loves like old timey books, right? Like she's always reading. She's a
classic.
bookworm. So like why not make them like super like beautiful like a Pride and Prejudice. You know, they don't have anything like fancy on their book cover. It's just like title and something super simple and pretty. So this is the one I made for
Yeah.
Twilight. So on the
Like,
back, it's a whole
oh,
bunch of like lavender. I'll send them to you so that you can see. But and I
that looks
also
like a meadow.
yeah, so I was like, it's so pretty. Um um I'll share these to you so that you can see them. And then I'll put them up on the screen. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can, you know, go ahead and see them. Um, so in the Twilight one, it's kind of like this beige background and a whole bunch of lavenders on the front cover. Super simple, a box. It says Twilight Stephanie Meyer. That's it. Super simple, you know?
Yeah.
I know, and then you bring in like the meadow in it, and it's because the meadow's like a turning point, and then like it's like like a huge point in the book. So I thought that was pretty. New Moon is probably one of my favorites because it's a little bit more like busy. I don't know if you got them already. So my New Moon one is probably my favorite, but in the background, it's like a moon texture, and then it's just like a plain box, and it says New Moon. It says Stephanie Meyer. Like I just thought these were so pretty. My Eclipse one is also probably one like up there, and that's because Eclipse is like my least favorite. Like you know, like if I had to choose one to skip, I know you love Eclipse, but it's like a black background. It has like these fog, smoke, like clouds with an eclipse, and it just says
Yeah.
Eclipse and Stephanie Meyer.
I love it.
Super pretty. And then my Breaking Dawn, oh, I love the Breaking Dawn one because to me it like ties it back to the Twilight cover that I had made. It has similar colors. And then it also reminds me of like the whole wedding because like the flowers
Yeah.
and everything. So those were my designs. And I was like, oh,
I love them.
like why couldn't you just do that? Another thing that I thought that maybe Stephanie should have done, and it was something that I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make like a mock-up. So it'll be like she could have done this too. Is like instead of making the font huge, why not like put the picture like the picture, the same pictures that you have on them, but like all across the front and the back is just like the title, like all over it, like Twilight, 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 Twilight,
Oh, I get what you mean.
or like New
Yeah.
Moon. I think that that would have been like semi better than like, because then it would have been okay if at the end, like you have a line of like, say you have like a line of 6 Twilights, but like the sixth one is cut off, like that's okay.
Yeah. And also, I mean, the freaking covers are iconic. So if she would have done it that way, I mean, people would see the apple, they'd see the ribbon thing, and they'd be like, "Oh, that's Twilight."
Yeah,
But then they
because
would,
what she could have done is done like an overlay of like the cutout like of the hands, right? Instead of
yeah,
putting words over that, she puts that over the words so that it's not like being blocked or obstructed or anything. I think that would have been better than like what she did. Because Stephanie,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Stephanie.
Stephanie, I think I'm gonna not give you my money on this one.
I think the only one that I'm gonna get is the illustrated guide because I don't have it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would get that one. I mean, see, I'm looking at my collection and yeah, I probably would get the guide and then gift it to my friend because she gifted me her guide. So I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna get you the guide now.
Yeah, and so that's the only one that I'm gonna buy is the illustrated guide. And I'm gonna pre-order it after FTF, so I'm not like going broke and everything.
Yeah,
Um,
I felt
so
that.
those were that's what I was like the big thing that happened in the Twilight fandom this week. And then of course I always love my little like Reddit or like Tumblr type posts. So this
Yeah.
is someone saying that it would have been way cooler, that Twilight would have been so much cooler without Bella and Edward. And then people were like, what are you talking about? And so they were like, can you imagine if Twilight was just about Charlie finding out that his best friend was a werewolf and the town doctor he's trusted for years is a vampire? And then he helps them stop the vampires that are murdering everyone. That would be so cool.
I really would. I mean, I feel like Charlie would be an interesting story.
Yeah, it's Charlie Swan, the vampire slayer.
Oh my god. Yes.
Did you ever watch the Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer?
I didn't.
Okay, so I have like a really funny story about that.
Oh,
So
do
I
tell.
this was back in the day. I was probably like, I think I was going to be a freshman. So it was like the summer going into freshman year. And we went to Pennsylvania to go visit family, and we took a bus ride all the way up there. Not the best, but whatever. So we got there, we were hanging out, and my cousin was like really boy crazy, like really like terribly boy crazy. And but her parents knew this, and they were like, you cannot go on dates. So there was a boy that she wanted to go on a date with, and they were like, you can't go on a date with him, but if you like, and if the only way that you'll be able to go is if you take Raven. And I was like, oh, okay. And so, well, I mean, back then I was boy crazy too, right? But like, mm, I actually had a crush on this guy who was like, I don't know, he was like one of my best friends. But it was so funny because I was like, I don't want to go on this date, and I was like telling him like, my cousin's gonna make me go on this double date with her, right? It was terrible. And so we go on this because my cousin was like, please go, like he's taking a cousin, blah 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 blah. And I was like, fine. I think I was 13, about to be 14. I was a baby. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So so then we're there. We go, and then in this town she lives in Pennsylvania, super small, only has 2 rooms for movies. So you walk in, and where you buy your candies, where you buy your tickets. And then you like walk past the counter, and there's 2 doors, and on the left they're showing one, and on the right they're showing another. So we were like, let's go see Abraham Lincoln, the Vampire Slayer, and it's a rated R movie, and they let us in. because apparently I did not look like I was 13 because I was super tall. So we go in and we see this, we're watching this movie, and then we're like sitting down, and then my cousin's boyfriend was like, they're not letting us in to go see the Vampire Slayer. Because apparently they did not look like they were old enough to watch it. So I'm
So
like,
you
oh
were allowed
my,
to watch it. They
I
sold you a ticket to them.
yeah, and that's because they were older than us. I think like my cousin at the time was 14. So and they think the guy that she was talking to was 16, and he brought his cousin or his friend who was also 16. I was 13, right? And we got in, but they didn't. So they had to buy a ticket for the other movie and then like went and snuck in to go see us. So they're sitting down. The guy that my cousin brought on my double date, so ugly. He had like a
Oh,
full, he had like a goatee, like a coming in goatee. He was like 16. He smoked cigarettes
oh,
because I guess just like in the town that my cousin lived in, that's just like was the thing to do. And he had like Justin Bieber hair, but like terrible Justin Bieber hair. And then like, so I obviously I didn't want to do anything with this kid because I was like, oh, he's not my type, he's ugly, and he's shorter than me. He was like a foot shorter than me.
oh God.
And I think maybe at this time I was like 5'6", maybe. I was tall for an eighth grader being a freshman, or so I was tall. He's like a foot shorter than me. So we're there, right? And my cousin and her date are like making out and holding hands, and I'm like watching, I'm like trying to enjoy this movie because I love vampires. And and then so then my cousin's date and this kid were like, we're gonna go take a smoke break. And then I was like, okay, so these two 16-year-olds go out to go take a smoke break. And the kid that I was on my date with was like eating Reese's Pieces. And my cousin was like, they got back, and then my cousin's date told her that like his friend really liked me and like wanted to hold my hand and wanted to kiss me. And I was like, oh,
Oh,
I was like, no, I don't want to. And so I really did not want to. And so we're like sitting there, and he's like sitting there with his hand like that, like in
oh no,
Twilight
just
when
like in Twilight.
yes, literally. That's why I think if there's one thing that New Moon gets right is that like that scene particularly, because
Awkward date.
I remember going on dates and putting my hand out, like that's just like how my hand naturally lays, which it doesn't,
Yeah.
And so he's like there with his hand out, and I was like, oh my god, like I don't want to hold his hand. And my cousin's like nudging me, like hold his hand. So then I held his hand, right? Fine, I'll hold your hand. And then like she was like, and then we held hands, we were holding hands, really like his hands were so sweaty. Like
Oh,
I
that's
like
always the worst.
this kid, like I could break this kid. He was so tight. Like I feel terrible. But he was just smoking and eating Reese's Pieces. Like I did not want anything to do with him. So we're holding hands terribly. And my cousin's like, ooh, ooh. And I'm like, no, there's nothing to be oohing about at
Yeah, I'm just
all.
a little concerned. And he was 16 and you were 13.
Yeah.
A little
I want to
shush,
say I
shush.
was like about to turn 14, like I was like right there. So it wasn't too bad,
Yeah.
um but so then we ended up kissing because we were well, I felt very peer pressured. It was
All
terrible. So
right.
I never like even watching like that first time I watched it, I like don't even remember what it was about because I have such a
You just
negative
couldn't
experience. I couldn't
you couldn't
enjoy it.
even enjoy it.
Literally, we could not. And like his breath, like he tasted like Reese's Pieces and cigarettes. It was just so disgusting. It was, and the
Ew.
Reese's Pieces are my favorite, like one of my favorite candies, and I just like I couldn't. And like
I think
it was
yeah,
terrible.
that with smoke? No.
Mhm. Yeah, it was just weird. But I mentioned the movie because I could imagine there being like a Charlie Swan the Vampire Slayer that's like similar to Charlie Swan the Vampire
Yes.
Slayer.
Yes. I really think that, there's probably a fan fiction. I think I did come across a fan fiction on like quoted or AO3 where it was Charlie Swan, he was a vampire hunter, and I was all like, oh, you got it.
I think it'd be cool. And then his daughter ends up with a vampire. Oh my gosh.
Oh
How
my god, the
terrible would that be?
drama.
Literally the drama. But yeah, wow, what a traumatic story.
Mm-hmm.
Dramatic story. So before we get to where is it? Okay. Before we get into our or what's it called? Our topic for today. I want to talk about the Lionsgate portal. So that's today. It's happening now. Right now it's like I think at its peak. So
Oh shit.
So this is when the sun is in Leo and the star Sirius moves closer to the earth and aligns with Orion's belt. So everything's like aligned right now. Like it's just like all these crazy things. And it's supposed to like it's like, you know, opening the gate for like all these new things. And right now it's like a really like powerful time to manifest things that you want. I know like I had sent to the group chat so let's get into our topic for today.
Let's get to the topic for today.
So today we're going to be talking about our Twilight ships, Twilight relationships, both canon and not.
Yes. Let me get a pen and a paper or something so then I can like write mine down a little bit. Oh my god, these are my freaking notes from college. So,
So
to our listeners, you know the canon ones, the one we know canon, we know the typical couples. So I guess where do you want to start? You want to start with our favorite canon couples?
yeah, so obviously, I mean, yeah, we don't have to like go into depth with them. But I do definitely think like everyone's favorites are like, you know, Bella and Edward,
Alice and Jasper.
Alice Jasper, Carlisle Esme. I think like everyone who's like in a relationship in Twilight is usually like they works well with each other. Like there's no really there's
Yeah.
not problems with it. Like I mean, you know, the Jacob and Esme, they're not in a relationship, so I don't want to like call that like a ship because I don't think people should ship them. But I definitely think like all the relationships are pretty good. The one that people don't like is Sam and Emily.
I don't like Sam and Emily. Nothing against Emily, but I mean, it's like I understand. I just don't like Sam and Emily's relationship because it hurt Leah. Even
Yeah.
though, anyway, I also don't like Mike and Jessica because I feel like it's toxic. They're on and off. I also, well,
It's
this
like
is
your
more
typical, it's like your typical jock, like cheerleader.
cheerleader.
Yeah.
In the movie wise, I did not like that they had Angela and Eric because I really liked Angela with Ben
Yes,
in the
because
book.
Ben was like a nerd sweetheart. Like he
Yeah,
was yeah, Ben was super
he
cute.
he adored Angela. Eric, it's all like they got together in Twilight and then they lasted all through the rest of the series, but it's like Eric at the beginning was going toward Bella. We knew that. Ben never showed interest in Bella in the books. He always had
Yeah, that's
eyes for
true.
Angela.
That is true. Yeah, I don't really like the
So,
Eric Angela thing. They don't really
yeah.
like go together to me. It's Ben. I think we should have seen Ben. I think Ben.
Yeah.
They kind of like combined Ben and Eric, like
Just
they
like how
did
they
with
combined Jessica and Lauren.
yeah. And Lauren.
I
Oh, in the book we have Lauren and Tyler,
yeah.
and I'm like, I mean, they're not really a thing because like you know they're not. But Lauren was like obsessed with Tyler and hated Bella because Tyler liked Bella.
Yeah. I love Eleazar and Carmen and Kate and Garrett.
Oh
I
yeah.
love God, Garrett is the original simp. Love him.
Yeah, I really like those. I think I really like a lot of the ones except for the ones that we mentioned that we don't like. A lot of the other
Yeah.
relationships are pretty like I think they're solid.
Yeah. And it's like we can't comment on Urena and Laurent because we never saw them together. We only knew by um the books and like by Breaking Dawn that they were even together. We obviously see that Urena had a lot of passion and love for him,
Hmm.
but it's like I don't think Laurent maybe had it to that extent with her because well then again, actually if Forever Dawn would have happened, then we would have known because Laurent wasn't the one. Laurent never went after Bella because Forever Dawn we don't see what happened in New Moon because Edward never leaves. So
Yeah.
if we had the
I
Forever
wanna I
Dawn,
wanna know what was the transition like what changed Laurent's mind in New Moon. I'm sure it was Victoria, but like and I know like he said that she can be extremely cunning and obviously we see that with her and Riley, but like
yeah, she's manipulative.
Laurent seemed to like be very aware of like her
Yeah,
ability to do this. So I'm very curious as to like if he was really trying to change his ways and be with her and be, different and live differently, like how she was able to persuade him.
yeah. And then it's like he was all like Victoria won't like me killing you, and so it's like he did say that he struggled with not having human blood. So yeah, it's just where did it go?
Yeah, I wonder where it got like how'd he get lost in the sauce, Laurent? How did
Yes.
you? Oh Lord. Okay. And I'm gonna go away like the regular canon ships out of the
Yeah.
way. Let's just talk about
Yeah.
the
Because we also we don't know much about the Volturi except Chelsea. We never really saw Chelsea and Afton. We didn't really see much of, and then
Marcus and Diddy meme.
they probably were the best because of the others because I feel like Aro maybe didn't love Sulpicia. He just needed a wife to make him look,
Hmm.
doting and power. I think it was more
Yeah,
about power than actual love.
I think so too. Yeah, I bet because what we see of Marcus is not really Marcus because he's kind of like I almost want to think of him as like in a catatonic state because he's being like forced, and I'd like to
Yes.
also think with the because he's being held there by this power, right? And I'd like to think that subconsciously, like he knows that he's stuck there and
Yeah.
like he just can't get out. Like he can just, so Marcus.
Ugh.
People were
So
pressed, yeah, people were pressed when I had put Marcus in like this video that like when I get to heaven, please let me take my men. And I had included Marcus, and people were like, why Marcus? And I'm like, what do you mean why Marcus?
if he has been sad for over a millennium over his love, then it's obvious it was true.
Yeah. So I think the one person who is likely to get shipped with like almost every person in the entire saga is Bella. She
Yeah.
gets she gets shipped left and right and up and down and sideways and like it's crazy.
I saw a fanfic of Bella X Aro, and I was very like, I don't like the energy created in the studio today.
No, I think Bella has been shipped with every single member of the Cullen family, every possible human besides her father
You want to know what my favorite Bella ship is, Loki?
was.
It's okay. Bella X Alice is one of my favorites, but
Mhm.
Bella X Carlisle. Oh my god! Especially after the in New Moon, I was like, he knew what he was doing.
I read a fanfic that was Bella X Carlisle, and it was like after the events of what happened in New Moon, where she got like pushed and he's stitching her, and in that moment they start, you know what? And then
This
Edward hears them, and then he like finds out, and then he leaves, And he, and so the reason for Edward leaving in this fanfic was not because of, but it because she, what? And then, but the thing is like, it's not only Edward could hear, like everyone in the house, Esme, everything. It was terrible. So they all move and stuff like that. And then whenever like Bella's sad, but she's more sad because Carlisle's gone.
Oh my
And then
god.
like she ends up going back to the house, and she goes back to the house and she's like there, and she's like sad, and she like goes onto like a bed or something, and she's like crying, and then Carlisle goes and like is like, I just couldn't stand seeing you sad. And it's a
Oh,
great fanfic, but
oh,
it's a little out there. But
we love a rich DILF.
I know she gets so many. She gets shipped with her and Leah, her and Jacob, her and Angela, which is also another one of my favorites.
I like that one too.
Because
Um,
there's that one scene in deleted scene in the clips where her and Angela are like having a girl sleepover, and it was like,
yeah.
oh, they would have been such a good ship too. Like if you were just like, fuck Edward, fuck Jacob, I'm dating Angela.
Yeah, and like Angela kind of had a little fruity moment in Breaking Dawn with the Denali sisters. We saw her
Hmm.
bite that lip, and I was just all like, "Oh, this seems a little fruity."
Yeah. I also think she looks really good in Breaking On Part 1 too.
Yeah, that was the one thing about Breaking Dawn Part Two is that we don't see the human friends anymore because Bella's a vampire, and obviously, if they saw her, they would be like, "Yo, what happened?" Like,
Yeah,
oh.
Jessica would be so mad.
Yeah, Jessica would be like, "Man, you finally fucked Edward and you come back like this." They knew
Yeah.
what was happening on that honeymoon.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I've seen Bella get shipped with so many people. And I think the only two people that I really like her getting shipped with is like Alice and Carlisle and Angela.
Yeah.
Those are like
Yeah.
my three faves.
Yeah. I can't really see her with anyone of the Volturi or the Denalis. Um, yeah. So,
No, I don't see, yeah. I could maybe see her with like Nahuel,
oh, yeah.
because they're both kind of like the first of their kind. She's like, well, no, she's not really like a first, but she was like, she's different, like she's a
Yeah.
shield. She's very, very rare, I think that she's, super self-control. So I think that would be
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be
My
cool.
One of my other favorite ships, and Cherish and I share this, is we both ship Leah with Felix.
Oh yeah. That's see, and everyone keeps saying that in the new Leah book, like she better like imprint or be with someone. Um, I think it'd be super interesting for her to fall for a vampire, especially a member
Yeah.
of the Volturi. Like what the heck?
Yeah.
Like imagine if it was like
Drama.
they saw each other at the final battle, and like when they were leaving, like Felix just like they both looked at each other, and it was just wild.
Yeah, because like we don't see them have a moment at all. But what if they made eye contact and Leah imprinted on him in that moment? That would have
Exactly.
changed everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I also wanted to get a girlfriend. So,
Yeah. I think this
ooh,
is the big one. I think it'd be really interesting if Leah imprinted on Sam.
oh, that would be very drama.
So
What if
drama.
what if she imprinted on Angela? I think they would be cute together.
Mm-hmm. Angela. Um, yeah, I think either she needs to imprint on vampire. I think just for the drama, because I love the drama. And like I think we deserve like a really good love triangle. Her and she imprints on
Yeah.
Sam. But then I feel like she would have imprinted on him like at this point.
Yeah.
But Angela, or she could imprint on I think those are the only ones that I really see, like a vampire, Sam, or like a human,
Yeah.
like a random
Because
human.
because like of the nomads that came in part two, I mean, the Irish coven, Maggie was the only one that was single, but I think Maggie is canonically like 14, and
Hmm.
20, so that would be odd. And then all the other ones,
Not for Stephanie Meyer.
God, right. But like Peter and Charlotte are together, Garrett is with Kate. If Garrett wasn't with Kate, I think Leah and Kate would made a good couple. They would made a
So,
hot couple.
yeah, that would be interesting.
Or even with if we want to get a little more frisque, Leah and them are in a polyamorous relationship.
There you go. I mean, hey, you never know. I honestly feel like, sad to say, but I think Leah is gonna have like a shit ending.
I know. I really don't trust Stephanie Meyer
No,
to write.
so Emily had asked me to make like a trailer for her podcast for like it was like her asking Stephanie questions, her and Marin when they were able to do the interview. So I was like going through it watching it and I don't know if they asked her about Leah or something like that, but she said like Leah's not gonna have the ending that like you
People
think she,
want.
yeah. She was
Yeah.
like, oh, it was like, oh, is Leah gonna have a happy ending? She was like, oh, I can't say it's necessarily happy. And I was like, you bitch. So
Yeah. Oh my god. At the Ladies About Esme panel that we were on, Lori from Twilight Lexicon was on there, and Leah was brought up, and it was like a popular question, and even Lori had said that Stephanie has said that she's gonna have an ending, but she's not gonna have the ending everybody wants or expects, and I was just
yeah, so
thinking,
that
like,
I
come
know.
on. Why must every single female in the Twilight Saga have to have such a shitty background and not a happy ending, except Bella?
Yeah, which we won't get into 100% because that's like a whole other podcast like episode that we have.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
but
gonna get me heated.
yeah, I think so. There was one ship that I saw that not a lot of people were fans of, but it was the Rosalie Edward enemies to lovers trope.
Oh, I can't even get. I love enemies to lovers, but Edward and Rosalie, I can't get by it. Like,
Yeah,
just,
it's not my fave. But I just thought it would be like not maybe interesting because they really do like they're so similar to each other.
yeah, they're literally
Like
like this. Because Ajay likes to point it out. Like, if you hate Rosalie but you love Edward, then you are basically like just like kind of misogynist because it's like they're literally the same person, just different gender.
yeah, literally.
Oh.
So I thought that, but I think I really like Emmett and Rosalie together. I can't see Rosalie literally with anyone else but Emmett.
Yeah, I
But
I can't.
I can see the Emmett and Bella.
See, I can't see Emmett and Bella because I look at them as such like the Chaos Twins.
It's because so I think Riley sent it or someone, but it was when our group chat we were having spicy GC after hours,
Oh
and
shoot!
I think someone sent it was a family affair fanfic, and it's like a fanfic about Bella, like the whole Cullen family are swingers with each other, and
Oh
so
no!
like after Bella and Edward go on this like very long like honeymoon, and then when they get back he's like, it's time to introduce you to this, and they were like, it's okay, and then like Emmett and Bella had a moment and it was a pretty great moment. But
Oh,
when I say that they're swingers and everyone is with each other, it was like everyone was with each other.
oh,
There
nothing
was like
closer bond than family.
I know there was this like whole moment with like all the females on the bed, and it was just like,
Oh Jesus!
yeah. So if you guys are interested in that fanfic, I think it's called A Family Affair or something like that, and it's like a Twilight fanfic. I'll put in well if you're on YouTube, I'll put it in the links below. You
Oh
know,
God!
but yeah, so that one, but I can see it, but I see part of it because I think that they would mesh well together, but I also think of them too much like it's like brother and sister type relationship.
Yeah.
So it's like a toss up, I guess. Now, our favorite one, my favorite one, I think for the entire thing, is Charlie X Carlisle.
Uh, yes, you saw the looks he gave him when at the hospital. Oh my god, and how he stood up against Billy, say when he spoke badly of Carla, like, yes, defend your husband.
Yeah, I think I don't know why like that even I don't even know how that became a thing, but everyone loves just Charlie and Carlisle together.
I know. Oh my god,
The zaddies, if you will.
the 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 zaddies, the dilfs. Mm.
Another ship that I've seen is Carlisle and Aro, but this one's a little bit more interesting because it was like the little backstory of it that I saw was that Aro is gay and in love with Carlisle, and that the reason Carlisle left was because he was like, I can't, I'm not in love with you, Aro. And so
Oh no.
that's the whole reason why Aro is now trying to get revenge on um on
On Carla,
yeah.
on the Cullens. Hmm. I mean, Aro's Michael Sheen's Aro and Peter Facinelli's Carlisle would ruin me. Not Book Aro, because Book Aro's bald headed.
Yeah.
I love New Moon Aro. Michael Sheen with that particular wig. Mm. But
Yeah. I think that's not one of my faves, but I think it's funny. Like it's a funny one, you know?
yeah. I also see people ship Dimitri and Felix,
Oh yeah, yeah.
which I can see that, but I can also see them being into like polyamorous. Because a lot of like fanfics that I have seen is like it's like Felix X OC X Dimitri. So it's all like them two, but with another person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I could see let's see, who else can I see together? Um
I've seen people ship movie Alec because book Alec and movie Alec are different ages, but people ship movie Alec with Renesmee.
oh, I don't know. I guess because Book Alec is like how old?
13.
Ugh.
And movie Alec is like
16,
17,
17.
16, 17.
I
But
mean,
when she would mature, she'd look in her 20s.
yeah.
So that's where I'm like, no.
Yeah, no. Dang. I honestly don't really ship Renesmee with anyone. Like maybe Nahuel when she's like fully mature, but like even then,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah. So I think I don't know, book Renesmee, just Renesmee in general. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't ship her with anyone. Um,
Yeah.
um, hold on. Um, but let's see. Other ships. I think I I don't really see. Oh, Seth. I've seen people ship Seth and Renesmee.
Uh, I feel like I would much rather have Seth with Renesmee, but then I think about it, and I have seen people say that it's the same as Jacob and Renesmee because he's also physically, you know, mature and all that. So I don't know, I'm like picky with that one.
I think it's a tiny bit better than Jacob and Renesmee, only because I feel
Yeah.
because of how Edward described Seth's thoughts as being like super pure and stuff like that, and like on the other hand, we had Jacob like looking at Bella's naked body when she was giving birth, you know. So,
yeah, I saw someone say that, well, we know who Stephenie Meyer's favorite brother is because of how she wrote the difference between how she wrote Paul, Jacob, and Seth.
Yeah, so
And I think
definitely Seth is probably
one of her sons, and also Seth is the name of one of her sons.
Mm-hmm. So this is her favorite
Named, I
brother
think, one
is
of her sons after her
Seth.
brother.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
but that's cool though. At least he like could
And
have peace of mind. So we know that her brother Paul is the hothead, and then her brother Jacob is just
good
everywhere.
at car, good at yeah, and is a good mechanic because she did say on like her author's note, like, thank you to my brother Jacob for teaching me everything I should know about cars. And I was like, oh, whoa. Um, you know who I think Angela would also be good with?
Cool.
Maybe Embry.
That would be interesting because like she's like smart and like sophisticated, and he's just like
There.
kid, like dumbass.
Kind of felt sad for him and that one part in Breaking Dawn 1 where it's all like him, Seth, Jacob, and Leah are all sitting together, and then you see like all the others with their imprints, and Embry's kind of just sitting there like kind of like, oh, I wish I will have that. So it's like I'm kind of
Yeah.
sad everyone. And he also is kind of like, going through this hard time with not knowing who his dad is and the fear of being accepted by one of his possible half brothers, because that means that their mother was betrayed. And so it's like, yeah. So it's just like, I feel bad for Embry. I think him and Angela would be good together.
Yeah, I think that'd be cute. I feel like Embry's probably like a romantic at heart. And Angela, we know Angela is
Yeah.
definitely.
They should have put Embry and Angela together in the movies.
What about Paul? Because Paul really, I mean, I know in the movies we see him with an imprint, right?
He's with one of Jacob's sisters.
Yeah, but like we don't really ever see them in the movie. So it's like, who else could Paul go with? Like Paul and
Um, Tanya?
Tanya, maybe Paul and I feel like him and Leah would just be too terrible because they were just like I feel like they're just both like would be at each other's throats all the time.
Yeah. Um, maybe Paul would. Mm, see, and there's not much to know about. I was gonna say, like, what if he was with someone from the Volturi, but like the only one I can think of would be like Renata, but we don't even know much about Renata or Heidi.
Yeah, I feel like giving him an imprint, giving him like Jacob's sister is just like a safe
Or
move, you know? Like but it's also
yeah,
like not super interesting.
yeah, it's just
Um
there. Um, Quill. Quill. I'm trying to think, who can we put Quill with that is not Claire?
oh dang. I think the only other person like if it's not a vampire, then it has to be human. But then we already have like Angela is already like if we give Angela Embry, but then
Yeah.
like Jessica, but ugh.
No. Um, it's like I think that there's a lot of characters in Twilight, but then when I think about it, there's like nothing compared to like TVD and Harry Potter, which just have a never-ending list of characters. I'm just like, we're running out of options here.
Yeah, I
Um,
know. Ooh, maybe Paw would be really cute with Nahuel's aunt because she was like
Oh, we
cute.
Huelin, that was her name, Huelin.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe. Oh yeah. Um, maybe Quill could be with Maggie from the Irish Coven, but I don't know. Would that also be too weird? Because again, physically he is in his 20s and she's frozen at 14. God, it's just the freaking ages. Stephanie, why did you have to make them like that?
Yeah. But let's see. I think that's like I'm trying to think of like any obscure ships I've seen. I've never really seen Jane be shipped with anyone.
Nah, because
She's like 13, you know? She's a
she's like
child.
13. Yeah, and also I really don't see Jane having any kind of romantic connection with anyone. I know that sounds kind of horrible to say, but like the only person I ever see her really like, loving is her brother. But, of course, that's a brother sister relationship. I don't
Hmm.
actually like. But also older Jane, I can also see her being with a girl. I think yeah. I feel like she would have a girlfriend for some reason. She kind of gives me those vibes.
Yeah. There's not a lot of people left. I'm like, we did Liam, Sam, um, all the wolves, pretty much all the vampires.
Yeah.
I can't see Esme with anyone else. I can't see Carlisle with anyone else but Charlie.
Yeah, I can't see um yeah, I'm like I can't ship Mike and Jessica with anyone that I can think of.
Yeah, I think Mike and Jessica are perfect for each other.
Yeah.
They can just stay together.
Yeah. I can't think of anybody else. Is that all that
We covered like a big chunk of everything, everyone.
yeah. And it's like I guess it can go the same with like life and death. Just, it's switched with their characters. Except Charlie, I wouldn't see Charlie with Corinne. I would see, but then it's like Ernest is Esme, so I can't even see Charlie with that. So
Yeah.
Renee and Phil are perfect for each other.
Yeah. Renee, um,
She's got,
yeah, Renee and herself.
yeah,
Geez, Renee and herself. Maybe, we can talk life and death. Like, definitely ship Bo and Archie. Definitely ship, but
yes.
that's like the Bella and Alice, you know?
Okay.
Also, in Life and Death, I ship Charlie and Billy's character.
Oh, Bonnie.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't really ship Bella and Rosalie, but I kind of ship Bo and Royal for some reason.
Mm.
I don't know why, but like I can't ship Bella and Rosalie, but then I can ship Bo and Royal, but they're the same person.
Yeah.
um I who else can I ship? Um Bo and Alan, which is just Bella and Angela.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
That is it. So many good things. So many good relationships. I think if the one thing that Stephanie did hit like the nail on the head is like a lot of the relationships in Twilight make sense except for like Jacob and Renesmee. You know, but
Yeah.
everyone like it's pretty much makes sense like together and why they're together.
Yeah.
So that even like Tanya, or not Tanya, uh wow, I'm blanking. My brain is like everywhere right now.
Were you gonna say
Why? Kate, and yes, Kate.
yeah, Kate and Garrett?
Yes, even them make like so much sense together. So it's just like she really did hit the nail on the head with some of the relationship, most of the relationships. Even
Yeah.
like I know, even like Sam and Emily, usually people are like, oh, hate them, but like I think like they work well together. Like I just like it because like Leah
Leah
got
gets
hurt in the process of, but then that only goes to show that like they really cannot choose, because I'm sure like if Sam could have chosen to imprint on Leah at the time, maybe he would have.
yeah. Because he did feel really horrible, and I think part of him still really loved Leah, and that's why it hurts him to like look at her because it's like he did love her, and also like his reaction in the vision scene when she dies, because it's all like she's like falling and she howls, and you see Sam and he just freaking like jumps up and like he goes hammer.
Yeah.
So oh, yeah. Wow, this was quite the episode. We got a little off track here and there, but what's a bite podcast episode without that?
Yeah, we always have side conversations that we always end up cutting out.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because what I mean, it's a podcast. We came here to talk. And we normally do not talk throughout the week unless it's like, oh hey, I had this idea, or send a TikTok, or whatever. So
Yeah.
we're really good business partners, and we're really good friends too. I think we
Yeah.
work well together.
And just think, we only have one more episode where we're like this before we actually meet.
That is, we only have one more episode. Like, yeah.
Yeah, so
Uh,
that's another thing. We're gonna have to find time at FTF. Well, she did say that there's Kat told me that there's gonna be some downtime in between events. So we'll have to figure out some time during there, like, okay, let's do a quick episode where we're just here.
yeah, I know, like Emily said that maybe she was like gonna figure out their schedule and like kind of what they're doing and all that. And maybe find some time like in between that, like maybe us and her and Marin, and maybe like some other people who do podcasts could like just come and kind of like sit, and we could film podcasts and collabs and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Ajay will be there. Shout out to the Win and Forks podcast.
Yeah,
I'm excited to meet Ajay.
I know.
I
I'm
love
excited to
her.
meet a whole bunch of people.
I know. I cannot wait. I'm gonna bring my little Twilight journal and I'm gonna have everyone sign it because I'm like, oh my god, I want to have your autograph.
Yeah, I'm so excited. It's gonna be so much fun.
It is.
Ugh.
Really.
I think we actually have 2 episodes. So it's this week, the 23rd. Oh no, one more, because I think we said that we weren't gonna film the week of, like, that we're leaving, so that because all like we're gonna put out like the vlog, and then we can do like our two separate vlogs on the channel, so that
Yeah.
we can.
Yeah, so we're gonna not record this Saturday, which is the 14th. We'll record the 21st, and then we won't do the 28th, and then we're not gonna do the 4th because we both wanted to like. That's gonna be like I know I'm packing on the 4th because I leave on the 6th to go to Florida. Um,
Yeah.
I guess that'll be like when we start our vlogs, and then we'll record sometime between like the 10th and the 12th, hopefully.
Yeah, and the episode will be out. We'll figure out like posting and stuff like that, and maybe put a
Yeah.
schedule up on Instagram so that y'all can be like informed. So make sure you guys go follow our Instagram, probably where we put the most updates. So our Instagram is at the Bite Podcast RR, and then our TikTok is the same, at the Bite Podcast RR. And you can go and get updates and sneak peeks, and maybe even hear some of our merch ideas. Who knows?
Yeah, and follow us on our personal social medias. Raven is at Raven and Woods. I'm at Life Size Coraline, so you can see our countdown and make sure you subscribe. And also, I think I have a YouTube channel like account, so I might link that in the bites thing, so that also I might post some of my vlogs on that channel, so you can like follow Journey to Forks.
Yeah, so excited.
It's gonna be crazy. Ah,
Literally. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna post. I'm gonna start my vlog probably when I start packing and stuff like that. And then maybe do like get put like a little thing together for TikTok. Since but I do have 3-minute TikTok, so I was like maybe I can do like a little packing thing there. And like a whole bunch of stuff. But if you're going to FTF, let us know. Like shoot us a DM at on Instagram or on our personal Instagrams and let us know. Be like, hey, I'm gonna go to FTF so we can like plan to meet you guys and see you guys and take lots of
come say
pictures.
hi.
I know.
Don't be afraid to come say hi.
I'm gonna take tons of pictures and like print them out and probably put them in like a photo album. So I think
oh my god,
lots of fun.
I want to have like a photo wall of like all my FTF pictures.
Oh, I know. It's gonna be so much fun. And we have to take one big like Charlie Swan's Angels picture
Yes.
in front of the sign. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be so fun. This has been a year in the making, and now we're only a month away. I mean, it's gonna be emotional. I feel like it's gonna be emotional just because, you know, most of us we were just kids when Twilight first came out, and now we're all adults. We all connected online, and we're gonna be meeting in person. So I think there's definitely gonna be like some emotions high up there.
For
I know
sure.
at least once or twice because I'm just gonna be overwhelmed. Like, wow.
I'll probably cry when I meet you guys. I'll probably cry when I like get 2 forks. I'll probably it's just gonna be
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
cry
cry
as
when
soon as I see
leaving.
that sign. As
Yeah.
soon as I see that sign, I'm going to just lose it. I'm gonna have Full Moon playing on blast. I'm gonna like.
It's gonna be so great.
Amazing.
I love it.
So, guys, make sure you are following us so you can come along on this journey. And if you're not going to Forks, but you want to live vicariously through us, then you better follow us.
Yes. I'm so excited. It's gonna be so much fun. All right. Well, we'll see you guys later. One more episode until we are posting all of our Forks blogs and Forks podcasts and all of that. So we hope to see you guys there. We hope you stay tuned. We hope you enjoyed this podcast. And we'll see you guys next time.
See you then.
Bye.